Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Doomsday video. Again, playing Esper. I'm trying a little bit of a different setup, only slightly so. Um, After due consideration, I am abandoning the plan of reverting to a control deck against Delver. Still, you see a lot of the cards here, some Terminus, some Plows, a few Mentors, but my plan now is going to be to try and board up to 4 silence effects, or Worm's Chant, and then some plows. And so the thoughts are that we'll use the plows to get to turns 4-ish, 4 to 5, and be able to go off through silence or Worm's Chant. And yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. I just, after some initial optimistic results with the control plan, I've just taken a lot of heavy beatings. And, for this to really be, quote unquote scientific, I'd have to run each setup for a lot of leagues, like a lot, seriously, to even get to enough Delver matchups and to have enough data to sort of draw any conclusions. As it is, it'll have to do with like less than that and be more anecdotal. But I think I'm still able to get an impression of it anyways. This means that I have sliced away the counterbalance, which was mainly for that matchup, for the Delver matchup, and since I won't be going for like a long control game, I don't want to have a spell pierceable, dazable, red blastable target, since I'm not trying to play the long game. So that's freed up a bit of space. Now I've gone up from 2 to 3 surgical extraction. Ideally, I would want, I think if we want to make the black-red reanimator matchup favorable, we want 4 ley lines. But I think 3 surgicals plus 4 force of will and Thoughtseize should mean, whoops, my computer's freaking out here. That ought to mean that we have a shot. I got 2 artifact and enchantment cards in Serenity and Seal of Cleansing. Not really sure how they will fare and how we'll need them, but it's nice to go from 1 to 2, I think. And then I'm trying this out because I've not yet really done so, and I've heard other people try it. I don't see this coming in against Delver, just because I really don't want to expose myself to Wasteland if I don't have to. So I'm guessing it comes in against control decks, but I'd have to say we do fairly. It feels like we're fairly well poised against control, anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out. See how we do. So let's go to the Legacy League and join and see how we do. So I still feel like you could argue for both the Jesper and the Sultai version, or the bug version. It feels like I feel like the sideboard options in white are a bit stronger. Like, I was thinking maybe, maybe Decay is where we want to be against Delver, but I don't feel like the problem was that I was getting my plowshares, countered. It was more a question of them being able to, like, overwhelm me with a clock, and Dreadhorde Arcanist also plays, like, really beats us in the long game. And I'm not sure what green really offers us there. that is like significantly better than white. And then, you get to a point where you want to be talking about Veil of Summer versus like Teferi slash Chant. And I think against Delver, Teferi is definitely worse because he's just too expensive to cast. But Orm's Chant and Silence, I think, are, I'll, you know, they're better in a meaningful sense than Veil of Summer, at least as long as we're not putting black into the mix of the Delver deck. So Delver with like that's either blue, red, or Rug, which is a lot of the Delver I'm facing right now. I would rather have Silence than Veil because Silence switches off Bolt. All right, enough about that. So let's choose to be on the play, and this seems like a fine hand. So let's keep this. There's a world where we go blue to Delta pass to be able to like protect ourselves with Orm's Chant in case we're up against Storm, but I don't think there is enough Storm out there right now to warrant that, and I think it's probably more important to develop our hand here. So I think I'm going to go with Island Ponder. That plays into getting discarded on turn 1, but yeah, we'll see. So I think we keep this. Yeah, I think we do. And I guess we can play out the pedal. It gives away what we are to an extent anyways. We could be, like, it gives away that we're combo. We could be, like, Show and Tell, or Storm, or Doomsday. But it protects us with Chant or Brainstorm if we should choose so. Okay, Mox Diamond and Plains. So are we gonna get Chaliced? No, looks like we're getting ported. And we will Brainstorm in response. Our Brainstorm gets a bit worse, but it lets us sort of use this mana. So we probably won't need the Chant. And let's just draw. Like this. So there's a world where we go for the Doomsday now, but them having port makes me feel not like too confident in that plan, but it might work. So it involves us fetching, and then like we would have to fetch Island, and then we would Brainstorm off of that island and put Doomsday back on top, and then we would play out of the Lionside Island and tell you what we could do. No, I was gonna get all cute with like predict. I don't know. I mean, maybe we just play it a bit slower and preordain now, and then we predict when they try to port us. Because the alternative is that we cast Doomsday and we will have no cards in hand, and then pass the turn to them. So yeah, what I was saying is, fetch Island, cast Brainstorm, put Doomsday back on top, cast Preordain, sack LED for black, and then Doomsday, and then just pass the turn, and then expect to win with 2 islands, which should be fairly doable, right? But we don't know if they're gonna like play something like a Collector Roof or Thalia next turn. So, and the problem now is if we fetch Basic Island, now we get to do the Preordain and then predict next turn. So I'm going to do that, but then that means we're like you know, somewhat of a distance away from casting Doomsday because we're lacking on black mana. Yeah, let's put both on top, draw the Ponder, and then predict next turn. I'm greedy. I'm already kind of regretting. But with the Ponder and the Brainstorm still in hand, that play is still open for us. Bile, okay. This is like Death and Taxes, but with tell you what, let's pass into this because I want them to use the port. Just because if we don't do that, I was going to just play the predict. But this way, I mean, obviously we ran the risk of them not doing it, reading our play. But if we didn't do it that way and we like play out a fetch land, then they can port the fetch land at the end of our turn, and then yeah, it's just a little bit annoying. Okay, so let's put back, or not put back, but name Edge of Autumn. All right, cool. I really want a, I would really like, what's it called? Arkham's Astrolabe here. Okay, well, now I think I am going to pass here, and next turn, if they don't do anything crazy here, I think we will Doomsday next turn, and then try and win on the same turn. Stoneforge. Okay, that could have been a lot worse of a 1 white, 1 generic mana creature. Jite, okay. I guess this is Death and Taxes. I've just never seen Mark's Diamond in Death and Taxes. Okay, so I'm gonna let them port me. Okay, they didn't. Okay, they do it now. Sure. So we drew a second Doomsday, which really does nothing. Okay, so let's go Doomsday. So we will cast Brainstorm. Drawing. Well, so we have both the LED and the predict in hand, so let's draw. Let's see if we can do this without. Oh no, never mind. Actually, let's see here. Let's say we go Petal Petal, Edge of Autumn. We draw those 3 with Brainstorm. We put back like a Ponder Doomsday. We play the LED. So we play the 2 petals. We predict. And we draw. Nah, never mind. I'm trying to get too cute to see if we could like keep up Force of Will. I don't think we can. Alright, how about this? How about if we go cast Brainstorm, draw Petal, Thoughtseize, and Edge of Autumn. Put back Doomsday and Predict. Use the Petal, cast a Thoughtseize, Edge into Predict, sack. Sack the LED, predict Doomsday away, and then draw Thassa's Oracle and a Petal. Does that work? So we cast Brainstorm, draw Edge, Petal, Thoughtseize. Last two cards is Oracle and Petal. We put back Doomsday Predict, Edge into the Predict. Yeah, that should work. So let's go Petal, Oracle, and then these three. All right. Back Doomsday Predict. All right. Big Thalia. All right. So let's take whatever. Take the plow. Go like this. Go like this. We'll predict ourselves. Doomsday. And there we go. All right, onto the board. Let's bring in the plows, bring in Terminus, probably like a mentor. And let's bring out one to fairy, two chant, one predict. Let's keep the Thoughtseize. We can cut in on one plow. And maybe one force. All right. Sadly, we cannot keep this, so let's ship it back. Yeah, this is fine. I guess we will... Yeah, I guess we bought him the mentor. So I hope they don't go vile. They do. I'm gonna force this. It's a bit aggressive, but they show us port, which makes me hope that they have kept like a one lander or no way to get white mana. Let's play the Astrolabe. All right. Let's see. Okay. Stoneforge. Wow. Okay. We get the Batter Skull. Makes me think they have something like sort of Fire and Ice in hand or something. Okay, let's cast this, see what it gives us. I kind of wouldn't hate a Thoughtseize. So I think we play this, right? Or do we? Do we keep it to brainstorm back? Yeah, I think we do. No, 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 wait. That's wrong. I was thinking we had one more mana next turn. So let's play this actually and just pray they don't have Revoker. I guess Revoker isn't even that bad. I mean, it would be for us here because we can't make Trill Black, but the Astrolabes have at least, replaced themselves. Okay. Prelate is a problem. Name 3, I guess. Yep. Okay, we'll have to answer Prelate. Terminus? Nope. Yeah, this is not looking so hot right now. Sure. Wow, okay, this is not going so well for us. Drawing too many lands, and now the bat is coming down, I'm guessing. Or maybe they have the Sword of Fire and Ice, like I mentioned. Not just the bat. Okay, so we are losing life by the boatload here. I think I'm gonna fetch. Okay. With Astrolabe, they can't really take us off a color right now, so that's fine. I'm gonna fetch here. The good thing about the Edge of Autumn is that it's like not a spell, so we can if we draw cantrip. Okay, we didn't. All right. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna Edge of Autumn on their turn and see if we like blindly draw a Terminus. All right, we didn't. Oh, so let's concede and go to game 3. So does seeing any of this make me want to switch anything around? Still think we're pretty good on the Terminus and two Plowshares, 2 Terminus. Might want something like a Seal of Cleansing or Serenity. We have Teferi, but might be a bit too slow. So let's go down to 2 forces and grab the Seal of Cleansing. Alright, let's choose to be on the play. And yeah, this is a fine hand. board out any Doomsday? I did not. No. Alright. Let's get a basic island and cast Preordain. Bottom the Dark Ritual and bottom the basic island. So Seal of Cleansing lets us have an answer for turn 1 Deafening Silence. Which I guess they don't have. They have Vile. I'm not going to force this time. Hope to have the game wrapped up before then, if we're fortunate. We could also Seal of Cleansing the Aether Vial, of course. Thoughtseize. Okay. Let's brainstorm and either Doomsday if we get Doomsday. So I think what we're gonna do is go like this. I was gonna say we could. The thing is, if we go Doomsday off of Dark Writ here, we will have. We might have to fetch Underground Sea to have access to a blue mana next turn. But then we're also guaranteed to have access to one. And we should be able to win through Brainstorm. So let's do that. I maybe should have kept the seal. Okay. So obviously if they go like Cavern and then Thalia, it's pretty bad. But okay, so next turn let's draw a Brainstorm. Let's assume they port us, so we draw a Brainstorm. We cast that and we draw Edge and LED and are we going to be predicting? We're not, right, because we will be one card into the pile. Too many. So we will put back. So we'll have to draw Brainstorm Edge. Sorry, draw Brainstorm, then cast Edge, cast Brainstorm, draw Edge, LED, Thassa, I guess. And then we put back Thassa and Thoughtseize. Yeah, that opens us up to Plow if they just go plains nothing, but then we can Thoughtseize them instead, and we'll have the extra mana. And we can put another land in the pile to be, no, obviously not that. We can put a land that Vista can fetch out. So I think we're going to do it like this. Let's go land on the bottom, then Thassa, Edge, LED, Brainstorm. Okay, I will pass. And hope that this is good enough. Surgical, okay. Let's plow, or sorry, force that. Hope they don't have second surgical. Okay. So this means we don't have to play around plow. Okay, so let's put back Thoughtseize and Thassa. Go like this. Sack that. And hope they don't have Mind Break Trap. They didn't. Sweet. Alright, we got there. So, good start to the league. See if we can keep up the good run here against Soldier of Fortune 88. So I'm going to keep this and hope we don't have our Astrolabe thought seized. Grindstone off of Island. Okay, that's interesting. Grindstone is a card that can potentially get us. We'll have to factor in for it when we try to combo off with Doomsday, in case they have 3 mana, or I guess even 2 mana in case they are playing like Spirit Guides. But I don't know what this deck is. I've never seen Grindstone with these sorts of lands. So probably we will have to fight over this. Hope they don't have force. Okay, they didn't. Okay, so let's Thoughtseize. Dak, Faden, and lands. It's a pretty easy choice. So I think we Astrolabe here. This means we can Doomsday next turn, but we're kind of vulnerable to this Grindstone here. So let's Goblin Welder. Okay, that kind of puts the heat on. So I think we have to win now, right? Because next turn they can pay 3 to activate Grindstone, and then in response activate the Welder, bring in the Painter Servant. So that didn't do it for us, sadly. We are 1 mana short. So question is, do we even keep playing here, or let's see, is there any way where the Perfect Predict wins the game for us here? If we tap out here, cast Predict, hit, and then draw Brainstorm and Dark Ritual, does that even do it? Because yeah, I think that does it, right? So I could predict myself and risk revealing something. What would I name? I think I am gonna do that. I'm gonna predict myself and name Ponder. Okay, we drew Astrolabe, which is not good enough. So let's pass and see. Just make them execute the kill. I guess they're going to do it on our upkeep. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, here they go. Okay. And they hold priority. Yeah, let's concede. Alright. This does not feel like a fun matchup. Let's see. What can we do? I guess the anti-artifact stuff seems good. I guess the plowshares seem kind of good. Teferi seems fine. Chant seems not the best. Not the worst, mind you. Do we want Mentor? Possibly. But let's actually... Not sure. Maybe we can shave a predict. Not really sure what else we want to be cutting here, honestly. Maybe we shave a Teferi. Teferi's basically only good, I think, as a way to bounce. Like a resolved grindstone or something, or a painter. And that's fine, but yeah, not sure. I mean, they have blue. They could very well be playing like Force of Will and stuff. In which case, perhaps going down on chant effects and Teferi isn't the best idea. So let's cut a Dark Writ. I don't know, maybe I need to be more willing to cut on cantrips. Alright, let's keep this. And let's not play around like Blood Moon and stuff. So I want to be able to get to Doomsday mana. We can grab this. Grab this. We will next turn cast Astrolabe off of Snow-Covered Island, cantrip into Thoughtseize, and we can Thoughtseize them. So the non-bow of Serenity versus Astrolabe kind of bugs me, but I think it's probably fine to be running one Serenity. Oh no, Veil? Really? I think we just have to let that happen. Yeah, I should have thought about that. That was poorly played on my part. I think we just pass here. I suppose we could be maybe we should have pondered and hope to hit another blue card and some nice cards beneath that. Yeah, it's fine. So I think we'll play out the Seal of Cleansing and just pass. They don't know what they're up against. We didn't, I believe, show them Lotus Petal. Okay, Welder is annoying, but I don't think we can force of will him. So do we go for Doomsday here? Think so. So we go for Doomsday, and let's see. They can't. Right now, they can't welder in anything. So, like, if we kill the grindstone, they can't welder it in again. But we have to factor in for them getting another artifact into play next turn and then being able to do so, I think. They have 5 cards, right? And they've already shown us they have Veil, so they could have, like, Counterspell and another Veil. Do things improve for us if we wait here, is the question. I don't think so. So what happens if they just play, if they just sort of, they untap and they play Painter's Servant? They would need another land, but then they just win, right? So I think if we want to Doomsday, we have to kill this now. Okay, so they just allow that to happen. So I think it's correct to pass here because casting the Ponder leaves us without anything for the Force. So let's hope we get another turn. We take Predict. We predict Snow-Covered Island. Wait, Grindstone says 2, right? Yeah. So we don't want Predict and another blue card here, or they'll get to keep milling. So let's just, for argument's sake, that they say that they mill. They get a way to Grindstone us next turn, like on their next turn, but only once. So we lose Predict Snow-Covered Island. We then draw Edge, Street Wraith, Thassa's Oracle. Is that it? Is that how we go? And also, is there a reason to play out Serenity now? It will lose the petal. Will it give us protection from anything? Like if they randomly have some sort of hate permanent next turn? I could see that. So we draw predict Snow-Covered Island, draw Edge, Street Wraith, get into Thassa. And the reason to have 2 cyclers, even though we don't get to, we don't need the Street Wraith in that scenario, is in case they mill the Predict and the Snow-Covered Island. That way we draw 1 cycler, draw into the next cycler. Yeah. So like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And we play out this guy. So
if they play out the painter here, we have to force. Hope they don't have force to get us back. Hope that whatever they have to answer our force of will requires them to spend 1 mana, because then, as things stand right now, they won't be able to both cast the painter, cast the veil, for instance, or a red blast, and then have mana to activate grindstone. But we shall see. I wonder if surgical extraction is sort of worth it here. Probably not. I wonder how do they win if we go like turn 1 Thoughtseize your painter, surgical it. Oko. Oko seems A-OK-O. Okay, so what happens? They play the Oko. They play the Oko. They create the food token, which is an artifact, so they weld out the food, get the grindstone. They're 1 mana short, but they could have like a petal or a spirit guide. And so let's say that they let us draw predict. Let us. So if they then mill us right now, then we don't draw the predict. That and the snow-covered island goes into the graveyard. We draw the cyclers and we win. If they let us draw predict, and then we cast predict, and then they activate grindstone, so we lose. We lose. We lose snow-covered island and edge. Then predict's on a stack. We have to name something incorrect. Then Street Wraith goes into the graveyard and we draw Thassa and win. And let's say that they let us predict. We predict Snow-Covered Island. We draw Street Wraith and Edge. We edge. They activate Grindstone. Then we can Street Wraith. So I think we're protected that way. So I think I'm going to let this happen. Keep my force of will. So the only thing we care about is them not the main thing we cared about was them not getting Painter's Servant into play. They're also forced, by the way, to activate Grindstone before we draw our cards because the predict, because we have Serenity. But let's see. I'm obviously also worried about what's in their hand. So if they have I don't see why they would have brought in Surgical Extraction unless they really got us stone cold on the read from game 1. Okay, they create the food. So let's see. Do your worst. Have to be now. Okay, I guess they just don't. Okay, so we predict. Need to leave up 2 blue. Or sorry, 2 blue. Snow-covered island. Alright, so let us cycle Street Wraith. And hope they don't have 2 answers for this. They could have Red Blast and Veil, in which case we lose. Or Red Blast, or Red Blast Force. Yeah, too bad. That is too bad. Alright. GG's. Alright, so we lost to... what was that? Rug Painter? Alright. Let's see if we can power through this league here. So that felt like it wasn't the best matchup for us. So I wonder if we could have built the pile to beat that. I think it would have required us having Veil. I think maybe actually, not Veil, sorry, Chant. I think actually boarding out Chance was a pretty big punt because when you think about it, like the Chant just invalidates their Veil, plays around their Veil, and it invalidates their Pyroblasts as well. Oh well. Yeah, this seems fine. So, oh, somehow got it in my head that I'd won the die roll. Never mind. So hope they don't have Stifle here. Looks like they don't. Bottom both of those. Yeah, Astrolabe is an okay draw. It'll fix our mana off of basic lands once we get to wanting to Doomsday. I like to fairy here. Okay, so let's put back yeah, let's put back a land and Street Wraith, I think. No, actually, maybe. Yeah, I think I should have kept the Street Wraith and put back one of the Astrolabes. Doomsday's a good draw. Coatl, I guess. So this could be Show and Tell or Snoko, I guess. Uru. You go right ahead, sir. So I think next turn I'm going to play the Astrolabe, maybe Brainstorm. If we could get to like Dark Ritual, we can get to a turn where we try Resolve to Fairy first and then fight over him and then resolve Doomsday. I think I'm going to Brainstorm here. No Dark Rit. Think we can live without the second Astrolabe, maybe? Nah, actually, let's live without the Ponder. Guess I don't mind the Thoughtseize here. And let's pass. Cling to Dust. Sure. So they get to cycle that. And get another card in the yard for this guy's escape cost. Though they don't have, they need one more, right? They need two more. Now, actually, was taking this Thoughtseize just a big stupid call? Are they all sitting on a veil, maybe? What's this? Sure. That's fine. Okay. A little bit aggressive, but sure. I guess they really want to be able to escape this guy. Does leave us in a bit of an awkward spot for casting Doomsday now without the astrolabes. Okay, let's put back the Oracle and I guess we can put back. Do we care about the street? Do we care about? Are we planning on going to chant? Not with Teferi in play, right? So I think we can put back Oracle and Chant. And let's take Scrubland. Let's cast this guy and protect him if we have to. And so Uru next turn comes down and what? He doesn't have haste, right? So that's really all that matters. They can't, if they make this guy 3/3, we can block with our own 3/3. So I wonder what we do here. They could have another decay, of course, for this guy. In which case it might be beneficial for us to bounce that guy. And then is there any way they can... and I guess what they could do is play an artifact and then swap this elk with their artifact. They could play like an astrolabe and then they could plus no, -5, right? Gain control. They would lose their Oko, but just trying to work out if I should be plussing this guy to keep him safe or bounce to get some value off of him in case they have like a decay. I think I'm gonna bounce. No, because if I, yeah, no, I am gonna bounce. I'm gonna bounce that guy. Okay. I mean, it's looking pretty good. Do we attack the Oko probably? That way they can't do shenanigans and steal. Brainstorm, sure. So Teferi's is a nice warm blanket of safety, right? If they don't remove him here and don't like take Doomsday out of our hand or whatever, then we just know we have silence the entire next turn, which is pretty nuts. Okie doke. So hoping they didn't find decay, but if they do, then I mean at least that's what they're doing. We still have a pretty solid setup next turn with Thoughtseize into Doomsday until the win. They get to play Uru now if they want, but not really seeing it matter all that much. It would mean them tapping out, and now they can't, but if they had done, they would have tapped out. They shuffle. I guess they're digging for decay. Fatal push. Yep, that's fine. Sure. Sure. Okay, so that should mean game. So we take uh, predict. We predict away a brainstorm. We draw edge lotus petal. And we edge into Thassa's Oracle. So Oracle on the bottom, alongside petal, with edge, and go like this. All right, pretty solid. You know what we should have done? We should have not been so cavalier. We could have played the fetch land and fetch before Doomsday. That way we could have thought seized. Okay, so what do we want here? I'm not hating bringing in a mentor. And a couple of plows maybe. They probably have like collector roof or whatever. Not totally sure on this, but yeah, and maybe we cut the Thoughtseize. It's a lot of interaction to cut, but they're like on bail. You'd think they'd be on bail, right? Hmm. Yeah, let's try and keep it like this. It's funny having been away for like pretty much a year and a half with a like one or two very brief periods of coming back. Legacy is just at such a different place. Like the Legacy I really got to know was from like Return to Ravnica, so 2012 I think, the autumn of 2012, and then until like 2015 2016 probably. So my son was born on in December of 15, and I still played Legacy for like the first year or so, but I definitely scaled it back of his life. And then, like, after that, I just got sort of further and further away from it. So, and now it's just like Miracles is playing green, you know, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's a funny old world. Okay, so we can't keep this. We can keep this. And what do we bin? We probably bin the plowshares and hope that we can ride this Doomsday to victory. I'm already sort of semi-regretting that Cavern of Souls, by the way. I feel like it, like, if not in this matchup, when am I supposed to be playing that? You know what I mean? All right, so we have the means to Doomsday on the next turn and win. but whether or not that's correct, because it means we can fight over the Doomsday with our force, but if they let Doomsday resolve with the thought to just let us go to cast the Oracle and then force, then we're in a bit of a spot. So I think I'm going to brainstorm here. Yeah. Put back Doomsday. And put back the Preordain, maybe? Kind of want all of these, right? Let's put back the Preordain and pass. And the plan is to draw the Preordain and then fetch and cast Preordain and then Astrolabe, I think. Oh, so they're just sitting on a lot of disruption, I guess. And this is like drowning the lock mana. So the question is, do they drown in the lock one of these 1-mana spells? Is that a thing? I think I'm gonna go like this. Let's actually bottom both because I really want to be drawing lands. I'm not. So like two more mana sources. And we can go off through Chant. Or alternatively, like one more mana source and a Brainstorm. Let's see, now they're out 8 cards, and they're apparently not drawing lands. Discarding us here would be filthy. I really don't want that to happen. But I kind of guess they would have done that last turn if they had discard. Okay, so they're moving to discard. Sorry, to clean up, I guess. Crazy. What do you discard? Uru? Tarmogoyf. Okay, really need to hit some lands now. Great. So let's how does this work? We draw Brainstorm. No, we draw Flooded Strand. Then we draw Brainstorm. We have 3 mana. We can cast Chant. And we can fight over it. And I think that ought to be good enough. But we shall see. So, hoping they don't have like Leovold. And we're just, and got to the mana to cast him. But I guess we have like double force. Seems pretty good. Sure. Okay, so if we want to win next turn, the snow-covered island, so the forest is gross. So yeah, if we want to win this turn, we need to have Brainstorm and one more card in our hand after the Doomsday resolves. So how does this, if we lead on Chant and then they have Force, then we force and then they Veil. If we then force back, we will not have that card in hand I was talking about. We'll be able to cast the brainstorm, but not be able to put anything back. In that case, is it better to just like they would still need double interaction on top of the veil. They would need force, veil force, right? Or surgical, I guess. I think we try and go for it here. They could also have like Flusterstorm. Surgical extraction on Ponder. So this makes me think they have Flusterstorm and want to build up Storm, or that they just want to see my hand. They can see my hand. Also, did we side out the predict? No, we didn't. So we have the second predict because we need that. Interesting. So I think we lose to them having Veil, Force, and like then one more free piece of interaction. That can either be another Force or it could be another surgical, in which case we obviously don't lose for sure, but we likely lose. And obviously they were sitting on, a handful of interaction. So they have to force this, basically. Or they're dead. Surgical now on Brainstorm is also a thing. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so oops. So we're not going to be paying for this chant. So I think what we're going to be doing is we are going to cast Doomsday and then just pass the turn. And they'll need to have a fairly strong hand to beat what we're sitting on. Obviously they can. Really? So they force this. Well, we'll definitely force back. So if they have another force and then mind break trap, they win. Okay, so I kind of want to draw into Orm's Chant, and then I want to predict um, away what a Doomsday, and then we draw Edge and LED, and we edge into Thassa's Oracle. That means that we have to. That means that we have to like fight over a collector roof if they have one. They also are able to go like surgical in response to chant, in which case we also have to fight, but I mean, so be it. So Thassa on the bottom, then Lineside Diamond, Edge of Autumn, Doomsday, and Worm's Chant. Pass. I suppose we could have tried and gone for it here. Maybe that would have been correct, but if they have the surgical, Okay, so they pass. So I guess if they try and surgical now, we could predict in response. And we can even predict in response to surgical with chant on the stack here, and it'll be pretty good for us. We can play around surgical that way, actually. Another Flusterstorm would be somewhat annoying. Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see. I think we have it pretty well. Okay, so what's the plan here? Flusterstorm? Guess you Flusterstorm. Is there a reason to act now? I guess not. Let's let him Flusterstorm. Actually, maybe that was a mistake, because so he Flusterstorms this. That means that we lose to Force of Will. Oh, it's surgical. Sure. Let's hope their hand is not Force Blue Card Veil. We lose to that. Alright, so they can surgical now. So, what will it be? Now I feel confident because if they have force, we force back. Okay, never mind. It's just over. Sweet. Alright, so what do we call this deck? And is it something I've played before? Guess not, right? Guess it's Snowco? Like that? Alright. I gotta say, Veil, Chain, oh, Chant is what I meant to say, is just, it is the dirtiest feeling to resolve a chant and then sort of combo off. Alright, I think we keep this, even though it's a little bit disjointed, but the brainstorms can hopefully fix it for us. Oh no, this is Bomberman. I got absolutely destroyed by Bomberman a little while ago. Not sure what else plays Mishra's Bauble. Okay, so they got to see the top card of our library, right? Alright, so what has it revealed to them? Doomsday, okay. Okay. So that's a little bit annoying. Because, I mean, they might do something next turn that ends up with us conceding, and if they had just seen like an Underground Sea or something, they would have, they wouldn't know what's up, but now they know exactly what's up. These lands don't feel like Bomberman, though. So it's probably that Emery of Lurker of the Lake or whatever. And what is this? Madness. I guess we let that happen. Bug Painter. So it feels like, I guess, you know, whatever we get, they would be able to pyroblast it. Okay. It's not the worst. Let's put back to Fairy and Edge of Autumn. And we can cast Thoughtseize. Whoa, Tesserator. That's awesome. Is this just a beater, right? And this guy lets you look at the top 5 cards, you may reveal an artifact and put it into your hand. And you can make an artifact big, but they aren't casting him next turn. So I guess we take the Grindstone. That seems like the reasonable take here. And let's bottom to Fairy and draw Underground Sea. And we're getting pretty close. So I suppose it would be reasonable to expect them to have Force of Will in that deck. Sure. Like, how does that work? Crew tap any number. So can't he like equip or crew? I guess. Oh, never mind. Maybe it has. It's summoning sick. Is that how it works? Okay. Well, so we are going for it here, and so let's see if we can somehow do this without. Oh, okay. Never mind. They actually drew the force. Lucky for us. I was going to say, can we build a pile where we're able to win without having to crack LED in order to keep force up? Okay, so we can just take predict. We cycle Edge of Autumn, draw predict, cast it, naming brainstorm, draw LED, street wraith, and grab the oracle. Right? So oracle on the bottom, then street wraith, then LED, brainstorm, predict. Name brainstorm. Cast LED, cycle the street wraith. And Bob's your uncle. All right, so this seems like a somewhat potentially nasty piece of work, this deck. So I guess I kind of want to try the Cavern of Souls here. Kind of want more chant effects because they seem awesome. Potentially need like something like Serenity. Okay. And I'm not sure we want maybe one mentor. So let's shave a Doomsday. Let's shave a Dark Writ. Let us So they showed us green, so let's shave the Thoughtseize in anticipation of Veil. Let's grab another Thoughtseize actually. I'm not really sure here. I think maybe we try and side out a Preordain. Anticipating them going for like turn 1 Chalice maybe. This hand is not amazing. I don't like mulliganing though, so I hope I don't have to force anything on the first turn. Looks like I don't. Okay, let's let's ponder. I'm not really sure we can take this, right? The Astrolabe's kind of nice, but I don't think I want the other cards. That's kind of awkward as well. We really need a brainstorm now to fix our hand. What is this? Feels like the 3-mana play is something I probably want to consider Force of Willing, but let's see. Okay, this does a ton of stuff. So when it enters the battlefield, they put the top 4 cards in their graveyard, and then they can play artifacts from their graveyard. So if they hit Painter Servant and Grindstone or one of those, then that's not the best for us. And they can also like keep playing Mishra's Bauble. So I think we have to force this. Doesn't feel good, but I think with the hand being our hand being the way it is, we need to we need to not fall behind like that. Ugh. Okay. Not looking good for our hero. Okay. Like manna from heaven. Brainstorm. Jeez, are you kidding me? Uh, hmm. So, yeah. If I get rid of both of these lands, I won't be able to fetch in a way with these deltas to ever double, like to kicker this, but I don't think I will need to. I might actually only need one chant though. As it is right now, we aren't really chanting anything. Wow, they got nothing too. Wow, that was a very good draw. Come on. No! Oh, brutal. Yeah, like this. Let's pass. Mm, um, yeah, I guess we let this happen. I actually wouldn't hate drawing the Mentor we boarded in now. So the Ancient Tomb has been working them a bit. Wow, this is a bit ridiculous. Actually, you know what? No. So they play Brainstorm as well. Interesting. Um, all right. Okay, LED. Okay, Ponder it is. I guess we draw. Yeah, I think Serenity is too good to pass up here. I think this pretty much is a stone cold force of will for them. Do we dare force back here in case they have Veil? I think we don't. Yeah, Baleful Strix is fine. Alright, so going to draw the Ponder, crack the fetch. And let's get pondering. Okay, so let's play out this guy. And so do we sack a land right now? And I don't think we do. We could sack a land to draw the second petal and get one more trigger. I think I'd rather just wait. Sure. So they see force of will. Fair enough. Oko A. So you gotta wonder if they have force, right? And I think they probably do. So how about if we silence to get some monks or a monk? This makes us very vulnerable to them just comboing us off here with Painter. But I think we need to not have this Oko get into play. I think they have a force. So this is a little bit of an expensive exchange on our part, but they are getting low on resources. Oh, sorry, on life. Do you know what we're going to do? I guess not. I was going to say we could cast this off of the pedal, but just to trigger. And I guess we can, but we also want to shuffle because the top of our library is a land. So if we were to cast this, nothing would happen, right? But we could swing in with everything, and then he would kill the mentor, but we would get in with 9 damage. So that's not enough. So I think we're just gonna attack with these 3 guys and hope that we don't get painted and on their next turn. Okay, so they block 1. Come on, no painter one time. Sure. So I guess that should mean we win, right? Unless I'm missing something. So, I mean, they could have done this and then cracked the LED and hope to hit like an ensnaring bridge. That's it, right? Or they're hoping that we just can't cast a spell. As this is me actually casting Edge of Autumn. That's nuts. Sweet, we got there. Edge of Autumn, baby. All right. All right. So, sitting at 3-1 is definitely decent for the last round. Be sweet to go 4-1, but 3-2 is also respectable, I guess. Yeah. So I have long since now I have moved from uncertainty to, I guess, certainty in terms of thinking about this deck as a real sort of competitive operation. So the question is, how good is it? How good can it be? And how well can I learn how to play it? But I definitely don't like. That was the thing with Doomsday since forever for me. It was like it was a bit of a circus act, you know. I might have touched upon this already, but you you had to really jump. It felt like to me. I won't try to, make out like I know uh, everything about how it used to be, and like some of the players that were much more experienced and skilled with the deck than me might differ in opinion, but it felt like you had to really go to extraordinary lengths to be able to make it to work. Like I remember one time I took Doomsday Fetchland Tendrils DDFT to my local. It was a 6 rounder, and this was in the time of Sensei's Top and Probe, and so you played like Burning Wish and 4 LEDs and stuff like that, and you won with Tendrils most of the time. And I took it, and I was 5-0 before the last round, and it felt incredible. It felt like I had like achievement unlocked. Then I got dream crushed by my buddy in the 6th round, but still. And this no longer feels like that. This feels like a very competitive, strong deck that isn't too big of a, like, it's still, you can still like get into those rabbit holes of trying to make piles and just not being able to work it out, but mostly I think it's a bit more straightforward. Anyways, okay, we want to be on the play. Wow. Can keep that. Can keep this. What do we ship? Probably the Predict. And let's, I think we preordain here off of Basic Island. And if we can get to like Force or Doomsday or both, that'd be great. Yeah, no, I think we take both. The Scrubland is a little bit ugly. We want to be able to cleanly play around Wasteland, but okay. I think this means it's probably not a Wasteland deck. So let's brainstorm here. Yikes. Okay. Well, this is a bit of an anemic turn 2 for us. That brainstorm kind of backfired, but yeah. So maybe the Snoko Yoko Oko, Yono Oko deck, or something else. So I think now we draw the second chant. We will brainstorm off of this and hope to hit another land. And hope to not have brainstorm snuffed out. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's put back a chant, put back an astrolabe, play this, get basic swamp, I think, and astrolabe. Okay. Coatl away. Alright, now we basically just need Doomsday, right? And we're off to the races. They're sitting on 7, though. Yeah, because we mulliganed right and we were on the play, so. So I think we ponder here. And, I don't want any of these cards. They're all good, but the Thoughtseize can get veiled. We have Chant for Force, and we have a cantrip and Ponder. Okay, Ponder again. I think I want something a bit more concrete before I try to resolve Teferi. This is tempting to keep this, right? Because we get to predict, but we probably, like, getting predict here also means getting one of these lands. Do we really want that? Yeah, actually, let's do it. We can cycle Street Wraith and then predict on their turn if we want to. So I hope, and I think that they aren't combo. Because we're sort of exposed if they are. Oko. Yoko Oko. Oh, Uro. You know what? Let's just cycle Street Wraith now in case they randomly have like a Spell Pierce or something and they can play that off of the land they get from Uro. This means we no longer are able to just freely draw into the pile, but I'll live with that. Snow-covered plains, I believe. Draw our second cycler, so. So, Doomsday would be really great right about now. Nope. Okay, so let's say that we cast a fairy. They will almost be guaranteed to Force of Will him, right? And then where does that leave us? I think it's fine, honestly. I think it is an okay thing to be doing right about now. Okay. Right, it gets them closer to escaping Uro, but it also takes a force out of their hand. Leovold. Yikes. Now, that is not something we want to see. Leovold is going to be tough to beat, especially when we just keep drawing lands. Yeah, Leovold is actually probably game here because Leovold involves us passing the turn on a number of occasions. And Doomsday, like, resolve Doomsday pass the turn, and we're going to be on 9 life here, so that's effectively just one go around. Yeah, no, that's it. Okay, so Leovold is definitely scary. So let's bring in some number of swords to plowshares. And maybe a mentor. And what can we go without? I think we don't want Thoughtseize. Although, on the play, Thoughtseizing a Leovold seems kind of nice. Let's take out 2 for now. Teferi seems decent. The chant effects also seem good enough. Yeah, let's remove the second thoughts, the third Thoughtseize, and let's cut a dark ritual. Wow, Leovold is such a big game against this deck. Speaking about how Doomsday is positioned, so I think Doomsday's biggest problem right now, and historically I guess, is the combination of the cards Delver Secrets and Lightning Bolt. So basically Fast Clock and Disruption. But cards that have the Leovold / Narset clause are also big problems. Okay, we're going to keep this. And we're going to fetch an Underground Sea and cast a Preordain. Let's put Astrolabe on the bottom and take Lotus Petal. That way we can actually speed up the Doomsday by a turn if we should choose to do that. I'm not going to do that blindly here because the chance that they don't have like Force of Will feels fairly small. I choose not to shuffle. Okay, let's brainstorm. We draw more brainstormy cards. So let's get basic Swamp and cast Astrolabe. Really like to draw a chant and a dark ritual. Plow is also okay, I guess. That's a problem. So I guess we could, like, I don't want to Doomsday now because then we can't force. But I could see ourselves casting Preordain here. Oh, Teferi is not bad. And let's just cast this this Lotus Petal and pass the turn. Ponder. Sure. That means they can't Leovold this turn. Surgical? Oh, decay on the petal. Okay. I mean, that's fine, right? That means we can cast Teferi and they can't force it. Do we want to cast Teferi, though? I mean, we probably do, right? So let's yeah, let's go like this. Cast Doomsday. They can't force back now because of this. Wait, what? No, I was gonna cast Teferi. Yikes. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so we can still do this, I think. It involves us getting getting to do some stuff here. How about if we plan, how do we plan for this? So let's say we draw Edge of Autumn and we then cast Teferi next turn. Then they force that, and depending on what else has happened, we might fight back over that. But let's say we lose the fight, then Teferi is out. So when we've just drawn Edge, we pass. We then draw the Street Wraith. We then cycle one into a... We cycle one into a land. We cycle the other into an Orm's Chant. Or we say screw the Orm's Chant and then just get like a fetch land and a land. Maybe not scrub land, maybe like a snow-covered island. And then Thassa's Oracle. How does that look? But let's say we just resolve the Teferi, then we get to draw a card, and it's Edge of Autumn. And then we can brainstorm. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. So let's put the snow-covered island on the bottom, and then Thassa, and then Delta, Wraith, Autumn, pass. So if they can go land Leovold, we force, and they force back. Okay, I guess nothing. Guess we force back. Okay. So this should leave us with the ability to win next turn unless they have another counterspell or Leovold, I guess. Leovold, we should still win unless Leovold then draws them into, you know, something relevant. Sure. Okay. Let's sack a land. And draw and cast this, paying 3. And we can sack the Delta, get the snow-covered island if they have removal. Okay, they didn't. Sweet. So dampening sphere, huh? Are we maybe going to want Cavern of Souls here? They might see the writing on the wall here and try and save their counter magic for... I don't know, maybe it's a bad idea. I think the 2 Teferi are probably fine for combating Dampening Sphere. I don't expect them to be bringing in other stuff that, you know, needs Serenity to answer, but I could be wrong. How many decays do you keep in if you're them? Some number for sure. Okay, maybe we go like this and then just see how we do. Bit curious about the cavern play. I'm not sure, but they seem to be like a counter deck and not a and not really a discard heavy deck. Yeah, let's keep this. They keep 7 as well. Okay, so draw land. No, I don't hate drawing force here. So let's get a basic island and cast a preordain. Bottom the cavern and draw the flooded strand. Say go. Do we force a dampening sphere at this point? I'm not sure we can really get out from under it at this point. It looks like something's coming. Okay, just a ponder. So we need to get this astrolabe down next turn. So let's brainstorm and get some more cantrips, I guess. Put back LED and a preordain. The Delta was good. My hand is too blue though. I really need to find some combo. I worry that they're gonna plump Leovold and have force backup here. If they do, then that really puts the onus on us just naturally drawing a source to plowshares. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's a problem. I guess this naturally drawing Doomsday would also go some ways towards. They have surgical? Ooh, wow, big draw. Come on, don't have another force. Just take your card. No! Oh, that is gut-wrenching. Alright. Sure. Alright. Actually, hang on. I think we need to cycle this predict. And we need to target ourselves. Come on. Alright. And I guess we name... What have we have used all blue cards so far, so I don't want to name Doomsday. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Actually, it totally doesn't matter, because we will, whatever we name, whatever is on top will get exiled, or binned. Ooh. We hit the correct card, actually. I guess it doesn't matter at all, because, ooh, okay, well, so, let's see here. So how do we win from here? So we cast Doomsday, and that just needs to resolve. I don't think we can use the chant now. Chant draws them a card as well. So let's say, yeah, no, we just have to hope that, no! God damn it, never mind. Disgusting. Yeah, so see what'll happen. I'll drop to 6 life, and they will just make this into a 3/3. And goddamn, Oko gets me. So is there any point in waiting here? So what is the very best thing that could happen next? So next turn they turn that into a 3/3. Attack us for 6. We're down to 6. We then find plow. We plow Leovold. We get attack down to 3, and then we cast Doomsday and win. And in order to do that, we might need to ponder here and not draw the card, but just see if there is an actual plow on top. It means we have a card less. Yeah, we have to shuffle these and pass the turn. It means there is a card less, and that means that we can't brainstorm. and win. So I think we're sort of, that feels like a lost cause regardless. Yep. I guess Mentor here would be the worst draw. But we don't get it, and we're out. Too bad, right? We could chant. We could chant and time walk them. Yeah, not time walk them. That's a very poor way to look at it. As they would, like, we could chant with kicker, and then they couldn't attack us, but they would be targeted, and then that would get them to draw a card. We would be a card down, and it would really just, I think, postpone the inevitable. Oh well. Alright, well, I want to thank you for watching. A bit lackluster at the end of the day, but 3-2 is still, you're still up a little bit of value, and it was, I think, some good experiences. Didn't get to play against Delver. It's funny, that comes in, peaks and troughs, right? Sometimes I face like 3 Delver decks in the same league, and then no Delver decks for like 2 or 3 leagues. Alright, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will be back.